something I've found interesting about today's culture when it comes to the whole entire women's always railing or reeing that people are victim shaming them, and I always laugh about that shit and go, yeah, okay, that's what you think. If believe what you want to believe. What's to discuss for the most part. But yeah, my thoughts on that whole entire thing is because I remember I actually mentioned this in a live stream that I worked at a McDonald's when I was in high school. When I was for the, when in a during my high school time, I worked part time at a McDonald's, and I worked at a McDonald's in it was a white neighborhood, and I was like one of few. I was like the only black person in the store, and there was these two white girls that literally used to walk past me while I was on like fries or while I was on the grill or on the sandwich making thing, and I literally used to make. I used to literally like grab my ass or slap my ass or pinch my ass or slap my ass or just shit like that. Especially when I was in a drive-through, they used to do that shit all the damn time too. Because I ended up spending most of my time in a drive-through for some odd reason because I was able to keep the drive-through time down for some odd reason. But these girls used to do this shit on a regular basis. Now, don't get me wrong. When I was in high school, when I first came to the U.S. to come to high school, I was always dressed very GQ. I was always suave, and I had more of an accent, and shit along the lines of that. So like I was pretty suave in high school. I say that to basically preference this to the day when I finally had enough of this shit going on, and I was working with I had a supervisor. His name was, I'm not going to say his name out loud, but he was a gay guy. He was black. Matter of fact, he was black. That's right. He had just transferred to our store. And so he was the second black person at the store. And he was a manager. He was a shift manager. And I basically told him, look, dude, I can't do this no more. And I can't do these women grabbing my ass and shit like that, and this, that, and the other, and I don't even think it's right. Now, if I was to do it, I'd be in all types of fucking trouble. But the fact that they can just walk around doing it, I don't even find it right, and I don't think it's cool, especially when I'm on like stuff like fries or I'm near the grill. Even though I haven't been near the grill or fries, that's just dangerous for every fucking body. Like, a lot of bad shit can go wrong, literally. I didn't say it like that, though, but a lot of, like, thinking that a lot of bad shit can go wrong if you're grabbing my ass and I'm on a grill. Like, what if I slip and fall? What if she grabs my ass, slips and falls and falls on a fryer or falls in a fryer? Just shit like that can go wrong in a kitchen, basically. And I remember him looking at me and, like, he got, like, a whole attitude with me. And he looked me up and down like I was literally a snack or something like that. He goes, well, you bought it on yourself. Wait, what? Like, that's literally what he said to me. You bought it on yourself. And I go, wait, what? How? He goes, well, the way you be dressing when you be coming to work, I'm just saying, you bought it on yourself. And that's literally what he said to me. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I don't want to be fired for slapping a gay guy. Like, I don't want to be fired for slapping a gay guy. So I remember I said, you know what? Conversation over. I'm done with this. He goes, aren't you coming back to work? I go, no, I'm done. I quit. And he goes, well, you can't quit. I just quit. Because obviously you're not going to handle my situation properly. And you're going to blame me for the shit that happened. Okay, cool. Fast forward to me leaving the place after changing into my clothes and giving back my uniform. And me getting to the T station. And I remember I was walking there and I was sitting there so pissed about this shit that he said this shit to me that I bought it on myself. And I remember something that my grandmother told me, and I remember something that my granddad told me, and I remember something that my father told me, and pretty much all the women in the family told me. And this is still true till this day. You are who you attract for the most part. So if you dress a certain way, you look a certain way, you're going to attract a certain type of people or certain type of women or certain type of people, period, for the most part. So at the end of the day, I basically told the story to basically say it's not victim shaming in the least bit. If a gay guy could say that to me and it be okay, then at the end of the day, it's not victim shaming. You are who you attract. It's kind of like how I say about myself, I'm an average of my friends. I have criminal friends, I have model friends, I have lawyer friends, and I have fucking banker friends and doctors. I'm an average of who I hang with. I am an average of my friends for the most part, and how I dress and how I carry myself basically attracts a certain group of people to me, or a certain group of women to me for the most part. And I know this as a human being. I was mad about that then, but as I was walking back to the T to basically go back home after I quit my job, I realized that I did bring that upon myself to some extent, because the way I dressed, the way I carried myself garnered me attention, and it garnered me the wrong attention, even at work, even anywhere I've ever been. So from that day on, I basically changed how I dressed so I can avoid the amount of attention that I was getting for the most part. And that's the problem that I have with women. They tend to always want to pass the blame, or they don't want to take responsibility for the decisions that they make to get them into the situations that they're in. And the sad part about that is these women took it upon themselves to grab me in the ass, or grab my crotch, or slap my ass, or pinch my ass, and do this shit. I've never once been okay with the shit. I told them to knock it off. They've always giggled and laughed about the shit and continued to do it. And it's sad. It's very sad. And nobody should have to work like that. Nobody should have to work in them situations, especially if it's unwanted. I don't give a fuck if you're a woman and you think you're entitled. Don't touch somebody who doesn't want to be touched. And the irony to that, the thing that really pisses me off about this whole entire thing is it even extends to female teachers at school. I've noticed this. A large chunk of them who get found out and get tried, their lawyers or themselves always try to blame the little boy for why they slept with them or gave him fellatio, or, slept with the child, basically. Especially the married teachers. Like, that fucking blows my mind. You're gonna blame the child who you're in charge of, whose care he's in your care, and you're gonna blame him for the stupid decisions that you made to do some wrong shit. Think about that shit. Women do this shit all the time. They've done it in all the cases where, like, all the women get busted sleeping with underage boys. They'll try to blame the boy, or the lawyer would blame the boy for coming on to the teacher. Like, in what world is that even a thing? What world is that even okay? Like, and I understand the fact that women can't take responsibility for their own actions, and they will always place the blame, because at the end of the day, you have to own up to your mistakes. And you have to own up to the decisions you made to get you in the mess that you're in now. And the sad part about that is women can't do that. And I've always found it kind of funny how they can always avoid that shit or dodge thinking about the shit. I digress.